Greetings and welcome to Monster Legends for another special feeding episode. This time I'm going to be feeding a lady that I picked up as part of the recent progressive event involving magical stones. And this is Tijen. And Tijen, of course, is a legendary. Tijen is light. Tijen is a female. She's on our side. She's in the good legions. She's very exclusive. And she takes time for adventuring. Unfortunately, in her adventures, she couldn't find any extra open ruin slots, so yeah, that's kind of annoying. That's like 2 in a row. Very annoying. Anyway, we're going to find a nice spot for her. We have a spot over here. Her and Dora can talk about adventuring. Okay, she left, but she came back with a friend. Okay, and this is to be decided. Yeah, I just had to change it very quickly because it was something extremely offensive. So, yeah. All right, anyway, this is Tijen. Tijen is a legendary. Tijen is light. Tijen has anticipation, which means that if some extra turn skill is used, she will have her turn before the extra turn happens. So she can be rather bad against those extra turners. So we have somebody who can handle that on the light side now. All right, and let's take a look at some stats here. Her strength is okay. Her life is not really terrific there. She is an older one. I mean, she's not older, but her model is older, right? If you might have noticed, she had 3 evolutions, so she's experienced, shall we say. That's like right down the middle in the old school. These days, that's not very good health at all. Speed is very good, so she's going to be speedy and get some extra strikes in when she can. Okay, so let's check out some initial skills here. We have Cloud Feeder. Okay, by cloud, does it mean cloud? Deals low physical damage to one enemy. And then we have this one. Patreon Partner. Deals moderate light damage to one enemy. Okay, so her skills, are they named after her friends? Could be. And her special skill? Spooky? Deals massive light damage to all enemies. Applies bleeding and poison to all enemies. Oh, okay, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Strange name, but I'm sure it has some kind of a meaning. When Patreon was trapped inside the dark armor that made him become a monster, Tijen broke the curse and rescued him, helping him become the light hero he is today. Now Patreon and Tijen have become inseparable, sharing their life and battles with their dear friend Cloud. Okay, so her skills are named after her friends. Okay, that's good. If you're going to name skills for something, name them after your friends. So in order for her to actually be very useful to Patreon in battle as a partner, we're going to have to feed her. And we have tomatoes for that. So let's get to her first form. Okay, her first form actually looks kind of dangerous to start with, doesn't it? Big claws there, big claws. And she can move quickly, can't she? And then she's back. All right, so let's get to the skills, because I hear she's got some good ones. Small Poison Knuckles. Deals moderate light damage to one enemy. 50% chance of applying poison. Okay. 0 cooldown. Well, I'm not going to keep that one. It's only 50%, right? But it points to a good future. Alright, so let's continue to level 10. Another skill. Small Shark Gloves. Deals moderate light damage to one enemy. 50% chance of applying bleeding to one enemy. Okay. So, kind of the same skill. One does poisoning, one does bleeding. Hopefully they can get merged sometime in the near future, like that special skill. Alright, so let's get over to 15 for more skills. Oh, and boom, there we go. Yell. Well, that's pretty straightforward. Removes positive status effects from one enemy. Probably not keeping that one, so I'll just throw it there. Okay, so she yells at whoever the bad guy is and this positive stuff goes away. I guess it's kind of frightening. Is that what it's supposed to be? Okay. Never heard of a cat yelling before. Screech? I can get screech, right? Yell? Not really. Alright, so let's get to level 20. Poison Knuckles. Deals heavy light damage to one enemy. Applies poison to one enemy. Alright, that's obviously a nice little upgrade. We'll put that right there. Alright, so let's continue to level 25, and of course her final form. Sharp Gloves. Deals moderate light damage to one enemy, applies bleeding to one enemy. Of course, I think we all saw that coming, right? And there she is, her final form. Okay, those claws are very scary looking now. Are they part of the gloves? She's got like gauntlets on. Are they like coming out through the holes in the gauntlets? I think they are. Kind of scary looking. Luckily, she's on our side. Alright, so let's continue to level 30 because we want more skills. Outcry. Deals heavy special damage to one enemy, removes positive status effects from one enemy. See, that's a better skill than just yell. Alright, for now we'll put that there. Don't know if I'm keeping it, but, you know, it's the best skill. It should go there right now. Alright, so let's continue to level 35. Stamina Hole. Deals heavy light damage to one enemy, removes 100% of stamina. Ooh, that's kind of useful. Gonna keep that. Alright, so let's get to level 40. Should be at least 2 more skills left. Loud Outcry. Deals moderate special damage to all enemies, removes positive status effects from all enemies. I mean, if we're going for removing positive status effects, I should probably keep that one. Just want to check the damages here. That appears to be... Oh, those have the same health right there. I mean, not health. Stamina cost right there. This one, of course, is a 3-round cooldown, but then it does take away the stamina, right? But this one, this is their only group attack, right? I mean, I haven't seen anything else. And this one does do something useful. So I'm thinking we use the other ones, right? These are 2-round cooldowns? That's one. Those are each 1-round cooldowns. And this one here is a big one because it does do something useful. All right, so I'm thinking we're just going to put that one in for that. All right, because I mean, the thing is, it's only a group attack. It's not as good a damage as the other ones, but removing positive status effects can be very useful. All right, so I guess we got one more skill coming, so let's see what it is. We already seen that one. All right, so let's see. We're looking for one more. Give us that final one. Forget Me Not. Deals heavy light damage to one enemy, activates all cooldowns on one enemy. Now that is also useful, but what am I going to do about this? I think I have to take one of these out. So given a choice between these two, I'm probably going to go with bleeding. Because the thing is that I think that more individuals are immune to poison than immune to bleeding. The bleeding immunity is kind of specialized. It doesn't really come up very much. So I think I'm probably better off going with this. So I'm going to put this one over here. All right, and I do believe that we are done. So why don't we just get her to 60? All right, and yeah, it's a good skill and all, but I mean, I think the group version is really what we have to do, right? And that's the way that is. All right. Okay, I mean, all of her attacks are basically heavy damage, except for the group one at this point, right? All right, let's take a look at her stat. Well, first things first, I did get everything. I'm pretty sure that I did, right? Okay, Outcry, Poison Knuckles. Yeah, those are the... Actually, that's the one I just took out, right? And then we have Yell, and then we had the 50%. So we definitely got everything. All right, now we'll look at her stats. Okay, the strength... Yeah, I mean, I guess from the old days, it might have been okay. Looking at it now, it's really not. I'm not really sure why it is that she has a bigger speed, a significantly bigger speed than she does strength. I mean, she's not really denial, but, you know, you could make that into a denial speed. I'm not really sure what's up with that. The life is just, you know, these days, not very good. Even at the time she was, shall we say, born, it was only meh. You know, it's right down the middle. 150 is kind of like right down the middle. Under that, you're like weak. Over that, you're a little bit meaty. But again, these days, it looks terrible. But even then, it was just... That's kind of all right. But I just don't understand why it is that her speed is so much higher. Yes, she does have a couple of things that could be denial-ish, but she's only got single target versions of them, you know? I mean, she's not supposed to be denial. I mean, if she is anticipation, she's supposed to do damage. And if you look at her skills, look at the ones heavy damage, moderate damage. That one's moderate damage, but that one's got bleeding in it. This one here was but she's got a couple of other heavy ones that I didn't take too, you know? So I'm not really sure why her strength really is not good at all. Oh well, we'll have to see. Maybe we'll have to because we're gonna have to put damage on her because I mean she's anticipation. You want her doing damage. All right. Anyway, let's take a look at the skills that I chose, and yeah, we'll finally decide on the ruins on her. Right. All right. We're gonna start with this one. This is Stamina Hole. Deals heavy light damage to one enemy. Removes 100% of stamina from one enemy. Now that's very denialish, but it is only single target. I mean, it might be useful during the course of a battle, but you're certainly not going to make her denial on your team. All right, then we have this one. This is the only group one. She actually didn't have any other group ones, too. This is Loud Outcry. Deals moderate special damage to all enemies. Removes positive stats effects from all enemies. Now, it says moderate, but it's kind of a low moderate if you look at the gauge there, right? I mean, this is around the time when the gauge could have been wrong. I'm guessing it's not, though. I'm guessing that's probably about it. The big thing about this attack, of course, is it removes positive status effects from the enemies, which can be very useful if they have shields, if they have regeneration, if they have some kind of an immunity on them or protection that you want to get rid of. Very, very useful indeed. So that's kind of the reason I took it. It's more utility than anything else. You know, if the other team is really hurt, too, you could finish them off. So that would be also useful. Then we have this one, Forget Me Not. Deals heavy light damage to one enemy, activates all cooldowns on one enemy. Once again, denialish. Could be useful, you know, if she jumps out in the front of a fight, attacks the other denial and resets their cooldowns, you know. It really depends on how the rest of the team is going, you know. I mean, if the team is generally fast and she gets to go first, it could work. If she takes out the denial on the other side, the other denial gets a turn but can't do anything, and then your damage dealers go then before the rest of the other team, could work out great. It's just that I don't think you'd want to depend too heavily on somebody who is only doing single target stuff. Unless, of course, you're on the adventure map and you're doing like bosses or something like that, right? But even then, that's not generally useful because on the adventure map, they usually have the lowest skills, which have 0 cooldowns. So, yeah. And then we have this one, Sharp Claws. Deals moderate light damage to one enemy, applies bleeding to one enemy. All right, this one I had the choice of 2. The other one did poisoning. Otherwise, the attacks were identical. I just figured that bleeding was something that was less likely to be immune to. You know, immunity to poison goes back pretty far. A lot of nature individuals have it. Immunity to bleeding is very specialized. Not really many have it even today. So I figured that's probably the best one. And I had to take these two because these two are very good. This one here, this is the only group attack. And like I said, removing positive status effects can be very useful. Now the big thing, of course, about her is this right here, anticipation. Which means that she gets to sneak in there if somebody is doing a lot of extra turning, like a Voltec or something like that, and wreak havoc. And she's got 2 skills that are very good at wreaking havoc right there, right? And of course, this one could also be very useful to take away any kind of buffs or anything like that. Or slip in some bleeding if that's what you want to do. If somebody's doing extra turns and you put a torture effect on them, they're going to take damage every time they try to do extra turns. But I think her job is really to shut them down, and I think that's kind of the skills that you really want for that. The only thing I would say that's wrong with her is the strength. To me, the low strength doesn't make any sense. Personally, I think if you switch the skills, it makes the speed and the strength, it makes more sense. I mean, she's got high damage hits, and she has anticipation, so you want her to be doing stuff like that. So I just don't understand why her strength is so low. Saying that, I got to put strength on her. I got to try to get the strength up. I just don't see why I would want her to be, say, denial speed. She's only got single target versions, and it would be very rare circumstances when that would actually be useful. So I would probably put a speed on her because she does have a good speed, and you'd probably want to take advantage of that. I would probably do 2 damages and a speed, but I wouldn't go crazy with the damages. I really wouldn't. Because the thing is, you're not going to be able to crank the strength up that much because it is, after all, a percentage. Anyway, I think that's going to be it for now. She's okay. Her skills are good. She's not going to kill entire groups, though. But she can actually surgically do good things in terms of the taking the stamina away and resetting cooldowns for single individuals, get them bleeding, and then take away positive stats. So she's not as much as, she's not a damage dealer. She's kind of damage, denial, and support. That kind of thing, which is a little weird of a combination. I think they should have kind of pushed a little bit in one direction or the other one. You know what I mean? Definitely that strength is a big problem. I just don't understand that. Anyway, thank you very much for your attention. I really appreciate it. And play games because games are fun. See you.